Hey, Omega.
Yes, Yankin.
I fixed it? Maybe? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Smark Snark podcast, episode number 235. Ironically, that's also the number of people who have listened to this show, and 234 of them are my mom. With that said, with us, we have our esteemed and wonderful leader, Omega VR.
You said you were pretty sure that it wasn't broken this week.
I'm 68.4% sure that it's not broken again.
You're just sure pretty, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure pretty. Also with us tonight, we have Vassar.
Oh, God, it's been 4 or 5 years now? 5 years?
Yeah.
Lost track of time, wow.
Yeah, me too. It's totally not been a complete waste of my life that I've poured hours. Let me put the existential crisis to the side so I can introduce Save Us Dog.
The existential crisis known as Save Us Dog.
I
guess it works now because Gunner's not here. That was the curse.
Yeah. Gunner may or may not be taking the night off tonight. So, in that vein, we'll do something completely different since Gunner's not here, and we'll just start with the news. The news says that Goldberg now has a big money deal that will allow WWE to use him as much as they want, as long as they pay his price. He will be in the Royal Rumble and possibly set up a rematch with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Brock, among others, saw money in an extended program, and the decision was made to make their first encounter similar to the WCW matches that made Goldberg popular in the first place, where he would dominate his opponent. Goldberg will work a part-time schedule, much like Brock Lesnar, for the duration of his run, which isn't expected to last past WrestleMania of next year. So that's WrestleMania 2018, not WrestleMania next year, right? Because that would be dumb.
I think it's just Mania next year.
Oh, that sucks.
No, that's fine. I mean, honestly,
who's this piece of shit?
Yeah, this piece of shit.
You weren't introduced.
Ladies and gentlemen, fashionably.
Speaking of a part-timer coming in whenever he feels like
it. Yeah, that's me. That's me. All right. Sorry about
being late, guys. Glad somebody else is here to read the copy.
Let's put it this way: the Taco Bell line was just as long as the line to get in Yankin's mom. So.
Oh!
I don't mind Goldberg. I don't mind Goldberg being out. I mean, I don't mind Goldberg doing that. I mean, he's one of the few people that, you would think of that would be able to do all that.
I was not expecting the result of that match at all. I was pretty fucking flabbergasted. But, whatever.
Well, it's a better match than they're probably going to have at Mania.
Maybe
we'll get into that when we review things.
Man, I just feel like this is kind of, where are they getting the money for Goldberg? Where's this new revenue stream?
1.5 million subscribers.
Yeah, for how long? Are they kind of in the build to WrestleMania? I guess like now is probably long before the build.
Okay, so this is Goldberg's run. Ready? We don't see him again until a week before Royal Rumble. We'll get a via satellite interview as well. We'll get maybe one thing after the Royal Rumble to set up the Brock match, 2 Raws between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, and then WrestleMania itself, and then maybe the night after, and that's it. And that's perfect, you know. Don't expose him too much. Don't fucking let him do fucking weird things. Don't let, you know, more lore essentially be written about him that doesn't need to be written. You know, keep him pretty simple. Jackhammer, 2 spears, and pin me, pay me. That's, you know, that's the mentality we should have towards this. Perfectly, if I'm perfectly honest.
I think the other thing that he could do is come out and just destroy some dude, one who's just bitching on the mic and screaming for an open challenge or something. And then
Rusev
Goldberg comes out and crushes him. Yeah, sure, why not?
Rusev.
They already built it, so it makes sense. It's just, it's like it's surreal at this point. Like they've pushed a lot of these old time guys, but seeing Goldberg come in and just destroy probably the biggest draw that they have in minutes is just like, everyone's talking about it though. That's the thing. It's so weird, but everyone is talking about it.
But it's one of those things where they're not necessarily, you know, bad publicity is good publicity, you know, because in a way, it honestly was one of those things you had to sleep on. And then you kind of realize, well, they're going to do a program. He's coming back. They'll do a rematch. It kind of makes sense. He did used to do that, et cetera, et cetera. But in the moment, like the people leaving the Air Canada Center, surely, what were they thinking? Like, you hyped this mega match.
Did you see the faces of the people in the crowd? Like when the bell rang, that's what they were thinking. They were thinking, nobody is going to expect this shit. Nobody. Let's do that. Because not a single one of us actually called it for Goldberg to win like that.
I think I remember saying Goldberg could win, but I never would have dreamed it would have been a squash.
Well, I think here's what happens. I think they have Brock. When Brock comes back from this, he's like, okay, I wasn't ready for you. I didn't expect you to come the way you did, but you can be sure that the next time we're in the ring together, I'm going to wreck you. Paraphrasing, of course. It'll be Paul Heyman, and he'll say it in a much more elegant and fantastic manner. But
and
that'll
then
be
Brock will chime in with piss and fuck for the next 5 minutes or whatever.
Piss.
How little of a shit he gives about Goldberg's kids. By the way, that's the one thing I got to mention right now. The whole interaction with the kids, it's like okay, but it's kind of getting creepy, especially when he takes his son and like, rips his shirt off and then parades him around in the ring. It's just like,
that was fucking
that was
weird.
Really weird.
Like, okay, if your kid is ripped, sure, but I mean, that kid's what, like 11? He's still got all his baby fat. He's doughy as fuck. Maybe not rip off his shirt and show his little fucking boy titties to millions of people.
Well, to be fair, Goldberg is famous for a big winning streak, and so is Samoa Joe. So I guess this kid has some hope.
Oh. Book it. Doesn't Joe have a kid?
Somebody Goldberg's kid.
Maybe.
Yeah, somebody get Joe a kid. Somebody
get Joe a kid.
Somebody get Joe a kid so that his kid can face Lesnar's kid. Or Lesnar's kid, Samoa Joe's kid, and Goldberg's kid. Triple threat match.
There's that, if they ever do that WWE Kids show, it could be Samoa Jr. versus Gold Boy.
Oh, for the love of fuck, let's move on.
Let's put it this way. I want to put a creepy thought into your head.
No.
Too late.
Aurora Rose and Goldberg's kid are pretty much the same age. Think about that for a minute.
Aurora Rose goes over. There's not a doubt.
Well, of course. Well, of course. I mean, ask Triple H who goes over to the bedroom every night. I'm just saying.
Her first sentence that she ever spoke was, "Am I fucking going over?"
One of the biggest reasons for putting Goldberg in the Royal Rumble and announcing it so soon was to help sell tickets for the Alamo Dome. Expect a big push to sell out that building starting soon. 70,000 people can fit in there. Do you think they can sell it out?
Maybe.
No.
It's Texas. Texas is a big wrestling.
I know, but
people will travel for hours.
I know.
It's not like they're in. It's not like they're going to the fucking Lucas Oil Stadium.
Okay, here's the thing, though. It's a good location. It's a good event to possibly do that. But what is the rest of the card going to be? Is the Royal Rumble alone going to get you 70,000 people into the building? And we've seen in the past that has not happened. What else is there going to be on the card? Other than Goldberg.
I guarantee you Undertaker will wrestle on this card. And I guarantee you that Shawn Michaels will have some role in a wrestling ring on this card.
So, yeah, they're going to have to do at least a couple of spotlight kind of matches like that and things like that to really get the set. Because it's just too soon. Like, people, usually when they fill those big stadiums for WrestleMania, people travel from far and wide and stay there. And it's kind of hard to travel internationally with like 5 months notice, unless you got some money.
Well, let's put it this way. AJ Styles and Undertaker are rumored to go for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Think about that for a second.
Mania. That's what I would expect to see in the Royal Rumble, actually.
We'll see. Shane McMahon was legitimately hurt during the Men's Survivor Series match, to the point that Randy Orton went over to his wife and son at ringside and reassured them. He was telling people that he was okay, but in a lot of pain. Nikki Bella is not injured, and the plan was always to have Natalya replace her in the women's match. Well, that's not terribly surprising. I mean, Randy can be a good guy.
Yeah, he's calmed down a lot from his days of like shitting in Divas purses.
Well, I thought it was weird that right after the Coast to Coast spear spot, Reigns pinned him and apparently was supposed to get the pinfall, but the ref at 2 called off the pin and then started checking on Shane. Like,
yeah, that's stupid.
Well,
like, just count the pin.
I didn't actually watch the whole thing. I only watched the IC title match, the Cruiserweights match, and Goldberg Lesnar.
Well, I mean, he was 1 second away from apparently eliminating him from the match, and instead he stopped the pin, checked on him, and then eliminated him from the match.
Part of the issue was that Shane, it looked like he got legit concussed, like knocked out. Because especially when he was just laying there, he was kind of like trying to sit up and almost have his like fighting hands up, like the fists up to fight.
Right.
It looked like what happened was he just instinctually, or because he was so out of it, was putting his shoulder up, and it would look dumb to count the 3 then, because it's not a 3 count.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't gone back.
I think that's what happened. That's what it looked like to me, and especially the aftermath of, oh shit, he's like legit hurt, and it's like, well, yeah, no shit, he's legit hurt. And they just bounced his fucking head off the canvas like a basketball. But what a scary ass spot, and what a stupid guy to. Reigns should not be doing that.
Well, Shane's like too old to be doing that shit.
But regardless, that bump that he took was pretty nasty. It could happen to anyone, honestly. Rain shouldn't have caught him that low if you're looking at it from a worker standpoint. But Shane's lucky to have just a concussion at this point. If he had done something to his neck on that spot, that would have been the end of Roman Reigns. Let's put it that way.
Well, frankly, that's one of those spots that, no matter who does it, it's either going to work or it's not. So, it's the kind of spot they should probably stop doing, because if it doesn't work, then, like you said, you're in a lot of trouble. But.
See, I bet like Styles could do that and make it okay.
Yep.
But Shane is just, not only is he not trained that well, he's rusty. So
there are definitely ideal conditions, and certainly people who are more likely. But again, it's the kind of thing where you're leaping from one side to the other, and you can control yourself only so much, and the other guy can control himself only so much. So, I mean, it's hard. Mid-air spears are kind of hard to do anyway, because you don't know where either man is going to land. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's almost like on Raw when Rollins leapt off the partition in the arena, when they were out in the crowd. Like that was a pretty high way up. So I mean, obviously he's going to get caught, but at the same time, it's like, it's like they always say, you can't train to land a certain way necessarily. It's
right.
Some spots you're just going to land, and it's either going to work or it's not.
All right. Moving on here. During ICW's last news bit, during ICW's Fear and Loathing 9 from Glasgow, Finn Balor, appearing to make up for Mick Foley having to cancel, ran down in an ICW shirt, and hit Drew Galloway with a pipe to help Team Dallas win against Team Black Label for 100% control of ICW. Anybody see this?
Don't watch ICW, dude. I just don't have the time for any other companies. I'm sure it was cool.
4 hours of wrestling.
I watched the clip. Yeah, it seemed pretty neat. The fact that they actually allowed him to do something and get in the ring and everything.
Right.
Did how was the turnout for the Hydro? Because it's a pretty damn big building.
It looked pretty good. I mean, it's kind of one of those deals where I couldn't really tell. It was more, here's the ringside, not here's the whole building, But you know what I mean? Like, kind of like how they do on Raw. Where, here's ringside in like the first 15 rows. But,
yeah. Well,
the top might be empty and you'd never know it.
The attendance, by the way, 6,193.
See, that's pretty damn good. It's probably not going to fill up the Hydro. Oh, yeah, I mean, for an indie, it's amazing. But for when I'm talking about the building here, like the Hydro itself has got to be like 15,000 seats.
Right.
So, but, I mean, a good chunk of that lower bowl pretty much filled. That's pretty damn cool. And, yeah, Finn, maybe he's closer to coming. I assume we'll see him at the Rumble, but who knows?
Yeah, I assume we'll see him at the Rumble. Let's see here. This card looked interesting. Joe Hendry defeated Davey Plays with Wee Man. Kaylee Ray defeated Carmel and Viper. Stevie Foy defeated BT Gunn. Polo Promotions, Jackie Polo and Mark Coffey defeated Team 3D. Kenny Williams defeated Lionheart, Andy Wild, Zach Gibson and Liam Thomas. Easton Rees and Aaron Echo. Louis Girvan defeated Ricochet. Wolfgang defeated Trent Seven. Team Dallas, by the way, was Chris Renfrew, Grado, Shaw Samuels, and DCT with Mark Dallas. And Team Black Label was Jack Jester, Kid Fight, Drew Galloway, and Bram. And then Joe Coffey defeated Kurt Angle in the main event. So there you go. It seemed like a pretty cool card, to be perfectly honest, looking at it from an outsider's perspective. All right, let's move on. 15-minute time limit.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ooh, it's that week, that kind of week, huh?
Yeah, the dogs had a potty.
Ah, I see. All right, so we're going to talk NXT.
Let's
start with Bobby Roode defeating Ty Dillinger.
What?
Great match.
What if? Can we just take 1 second to talk about how awesome that entrance was with the choir and the crowd singing and how that was fantastic.
Yep.
Like I was singing along. It was fucking amazing.
You know, they were talking about on Observer Radio. They do that for NXT, but why don't they do that for the main roster?
Because it's cheaper for NXT, or because it's Triple H budgets for it, maybe.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
a good possibility.
You know, they made the point. You know, it's just another extra thing to make the pay-per-views seem special.
Right. If maybe not even every pay-per-view do that, since there's fucking what is it, 19 of the sons of bitches now. But for the big ones, they should definitely do stuff like that. Break out fucking Mrs. Bubble letters now and again. Jesus Christ.
Those Bubbles letters were awful. But
I love those.
I liked it.
This match was good.
It was a great match.
Wait, the what now? The Bubble what?
The bubble letters.
The big awesome.
The big awesome bubble letters.
Oh, right. Yeah, you could do that every pay-per-view.
Well, how much could it cost to hire some guys to push some bubble letters around? All right, let's talk about the next match.
Yeah, okay. Bobby Roode did great in that match. I enjoyed it.
It was fucking awesome.
Ty looks like he's about on his way out, and Bobby looks like he's on his way up. I hope Ty gets a main roster visit at some point in the near future. Authors of Pain defeated TM61 to win the Dusty Rhodes Tag Classic Final. Holy shit! This match was WCW 1991.
It was so fucking. It wasn't even WCW 1991. It was WCW 2000. It was just
no.
right.
There's a difference between the two. At least 1991 was hokey and great. The WCW 2000 was hokey and terrible.
Well,
this was hokey and great. 1991.
Okay, so the spot off the cage, and Dog and I were talking about this before the show, are not off the cage, but off the structure holding the cage up. That spot was awesome. The spot where what's-his-face was supposed to hit the other guy with the chain wrapped around his fist, and the chain flies off into the crowd, which I hope that was a gimmick chain, because if it was a real chain, there's a good chance somebody got hit in the fucking face with it and left with a nice big red fucking goose egg on their face.
See, y'all have the wrong company and the wrong year. This was not WCW whenever. This was TNA right around 2009. Complete with the X Division spot off of the big structure. You got some doofus dropping shit from the ceiling, and you've got a botch spot that ends the match. In what wasn't a decent little match, it was fine, but it was not great.
Also, those names are terrible.
I would agree with the botch spot part of that. I mean,
dude, it made the whole ending pointless, because the whole thing was like, it was supposed to be Ellering still interfered even though he was in the cage. So the whole point is the next one he's not at ringside at all. But now it's just like the ending the cage, like, it didn't matter. The chain didn't play into the ending at all because he fucked up.
It was funny.
How do you let go of the chain?
Because you're an idiot.
Yep.
How are you
I don't remember.
A fat idiot?
Was it Akam or Razor?
I literally cannot tell them apart. I can tell the Usos apart at this point better than I can tell those two apart.
So who's going to win in the match?
I would have to give a shit.
Who are the Usos? I mean, really.
Aren't all four of them Samoan?
No, the Authors of Pain are from somewhere else.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Well, then Usos go over.
I'll look it up when it comes down to this next match, which is DIY defeating Revival 2 falls to 1 to win the NXT tag titles.
What a match.
Match of the weekend.
This was a match of the year candidate.
Yeah.
Easily.
This is one of the best tag matches I've seen in This brings me back to like SmackDown 2002, like the prime of that tag division.
Yeah, I was going to say
Fucking
a
classic.
decade at least. That was just an incredible match, and every bit of it was just about perfect. Like everything seemed, there was a reason for all the things that were happening. It wasn't just a lot of times when I watch NXT, I feel like it's the kind of like indie spot fest finisher trade that you see a lot of on the main roster now too, where it's just like, oh, finisher, kick out. And it's like, okay, yeah, and it's like, okay, but can we fucking chill for a minute? This match, everything happened for like, it felt like it needed to happen, as opposed to we're doing this because it's going to be cool. It felt like it was necessary to the match. It was amazing. I marked the fuck out, especially when they
moving
won.
on.
Dude, the Shatter Machine when they traded finishers and the Revival fucked theirs up.
Oh yeah,
DIY actually hit the Shatter Machine is like one of the best tag spots I've seen in a very long time.
And they didn't get the pin off that either, did they?
Nope.
You thought they would, but they didn't. That was a
Amazing.
great false finish.
This match alone pretty much gives me DIY and the Revival as feud of the year. Those two, every time they get in the ring, those four guys, it's fucking magic. It's amazing.
I wouldn't necessarily call it feud of the year, necessarily. I mean, whatchamacallit? Heath Slater getting a job on SmackDown was pretty up there for me, to be perfectly honest. And I know that seems really stupid, but his triumph and overcome kind of thing, but it was a lot more satisfying than this.
What's the feud? Heath Slater versus unemployment?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I can buy it.
I thought that was a really good story arc and whatnot. These guys are great in the ring.
I'm just saying, like,
if you want to know,
4.5.
If you want to know what the feud
stars,
is,
no Tokyo Dome.
The feud with Heath Slater, I'll give you what the feud is. It was him versus the management because they weren't recognizing his value as a superstar, and he came back and he proved it.
Heath Slater versus the world.
Yes, pretty much.
All right, let's talk about the next match.
Right, and I'm just going to make this little point here. Heath Slater 6 months ago was a nameless jobber who was going to get squashed by Braun Strowman week after week after week. He was going to have the what's-his-face's spot. And now he's in a significant role on SmackDown and having a career revitalization just as much as he did when he was in Nexus.
That's the what's-his-face you were trying to think of, Sami Zayn.
Right. Asuka defeated Mickie James to retain the NXT Women's title. Mickie looked okay.
Mickie looked good, I thought.
She wasn't at like her best, but she was still going, and just like the whole thing that she was actually a threat to Asuka was amazing.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen more what was like Psycho Mickie, like the Mickie that went against Trish Stratus. That's the Mickie I wanted to see against Asuka, because that's a Mickie that I think could beat Asuka.
He went into that knowing that this was the most predictable match out of the weekend. This match, this was Asuka was going to win, and Mickie was just going to fade off into obscurity, maybe into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, maybe she sticks around and they have like a full-on feud. I mean, that's what I would do. I would have this match, and then I would have fucking like Mickie just slowly lose her fucking mind over the course of a few weeks until the next takeover, and then at that takeover, it's fucking insane fucking not girl interrupted. What is it? What is that fucking movie? She puts the ad up and single white female Mickie against Asuka, and that's a Mickie that I believe is a credible threat because she's willing to she'll grab her by the cooter.
See,
Is there anybody that's a credible threat right now to Asuka?
Not really.
No.
Maybe
Ember
Ember
Moon,
Moon
maybe if
after
they
a
build her
while.
more.
Can they bring back Kong?
I wish, man, that'd be awesome.
If they brought back Awesome Kong, that would be somebody that, like, people would be like, "There's no way Asuka could beat her."
Honestly, part of the reason why this match was really good, especially at the beginning, was Mickey James brought as much of the mind games to the table as Asuka usually does.
Right.
And the psychology in the beginning was awesome. And they laid the groundwork for something more if they wanted it. But if it just stays this one, it was a pretty good match. The ending was so weird. And we were talking about this earlier before the show. Corey Graves was way, way, way off at this takeover taping. He was trying to say this is like, oh, she doesn't really have it locked in. The hands need to be clasped or whatever. It's like, it's a cross-faced chicken wing. You don't have to clasp the fucking hands. And it kind of ruined the ending of the match because the idea was she was always in the hold, and then she tried everything to escape and eventually tapped out. But the commentators just no-sold it and really fucked it up, which is too bad because this was a really good match.
It was. It was a good match. Mickey looked good. Asuka looked, Asuka. Let's go to the next one. It's
last match. Samoa Joe defeated Shinsuke Nakamura to win the NXT title. Not the result we were expecting at all.
No, but maybe
Shinsuke's entrance, though. Oh my god!
Holy fuck! Yes, it was fantastic.
Famous violinists everywhere.
Yeah, it looked kind of goofy, to be honest, but also kind of neat.
It was goofy in a good way, I thought. Especially them leaning into him when he leaned back and leaning back away from him and stuff.
By the way,
it was dumb, but it was good.
By the way, I liked Asuka's too, where everybody in the front row got a mask.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, I would have loved to have been at that show just to get the mask because I'm too cheap to buy it.
For Black Friday, it's like $5.
Yeah.
Really?
Ooh, really?
I wish I had $5.
Plus shipping.
$5 is $5, man. Come on now.
I'm gonna need something to cover shipping and have a little extra for a water or something.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody's entrance. How about Samoa Joe's exit? Talk about heat. They play his first song, the goofy breakdance thing after he wins this bloody, no, not bloody, but a big
goofy
fight.
Jazz version.
And then it didn't cut to his actual music until a minute or two.
It's like
why the
Joe
fuck
Joe just won the title after this hardcore fight. It's like, why the fuck is like Sugar Dunkington showing up?
Why did you even have this old music on the playlist?
I have no idea because they haven't even ever released that song, which is like, it's so fucking weird.
By the way, he won the title back because they're going to Osaka on December 3rd, I think it is. Surely they're going to do a rematch and Nakamura will win it back.
I don't know.
Right.
Man. You think they're going to maybe think about moving him to the main roster?
No, I don't think. No.
I could see Joe going to the main roster, but not Shinsuke.
Yeah, Joe maybe, but Nakamura they want there for a while to be.
I could see that Osaka thing happening, and then at the end of the year, beginning of next year, Royal Rumble, have Samoa Joe be a surprise entrant in the Rumble.
Yeah,
still think that. I mean, Joe needs a very special entrance onto the main roster to make him huge. Obviously, they put the rocket on Finn's back, and it busted his shoulder up. However, I think Joe's a little more resilient than that.
Well, if you had Joe go into the Rumble and just eliminate 10 people or something or more, that would
be eliminated Brock and Goldberg at the same time.
Yeah, something have a bunch of eliminations and top it off with a really special.
But you know who's going to do that? Is that
John Cena?
Baron Corbin? No, it's going to be Baron Corbin or it's going to be Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
Joe's standing toe to toe with Braun
because Braun Strowman is a fucking God, that's why. And so is Baron Corbin.
Hilarious.
I hope they
He
just
is
team up
hilarious.
and just kill people. That'd be amazing. I'd watch that every week.
You know that's like the new Kane and Big Show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Complete with one of them losing his fucking hair, too.
Exactly, which is the worst part. He's holding on to that. He's clinging on to that for dear life.
Dude, not
Jesus Christ.
as bad as Victor.
Rogaine.
There's
Oh my god.
there's like
Harper's
levels.
pretty bad too.
Baron can still kind of pull it off. Victor is just like, dude, you just gotta shave it, man. Give it up.
Victor,
Harper's got
no,
that
Victor's
massive
at
bald spot
faster
in the
level
back.
bald.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and
My hair's not that far back up the forehead. Close,
All right,
but
let's
not that far.
go to the shitty pay-per-view.
Survivor Series.
That's well
Uh,
over 15 minutes. Let's talk about the shitty pay-per-view.
Right. Rich Swann, Noam Dar, TJ Perkins defeated Arya Davari, Drew Gulak, and Tony Nese in the pre-show.
Missed
Now
it.
that we haven't seen this match on Raw before.
I didn't know the pre-show started at 2 p.m.
Dude,
Pacific, so I missed this.
6 fucking hours. 2 hours of pre-show. It's over the top. And yeah, I completely missed this too. Sadly.
There's like maybe 200 fans in the seats when this match starts. You know.
Yep. Like you could tell that everybody's still trying to get through security to get to this match, and then you missed the next match on the pre-show, which was Kane defeating Luke Harper.
I caught the second half of this match, and it was pretty slow. And crap.
Why did they get rid of all the eyeballs and replace it with wood?
Because the eyeballs are too creepy. I don't know. I mean, that's just weird.
Because
By the way,
because it's Wednesday, and you know what that means.
We wear pink.
it's
On Wednesday, we wear pink.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. No. By the way, Mr. What's his name here? Razor. Real name, Gizim Silmani. He's from the Netherlands, and he's Bill from Albania.
Oh yeah, that's right. They're both Dutch.
No, the other guy is not Dutch. The other guy is from Abbotsford, British Columbia.
They're so similar.
What the fuck?
Did they have a same father that just flew around between countries or something? Because they
I have no
look
idea.
very similar for being so far apart.
It's just one of those things. Like every once in a while, you'll just be in
meet
some
your
other country. Yeah, you meet your doppelganger, and they just happen to both wrestle.
Exactly, which is the fun part. By the way, whatchamacallit, Gzim, Mr. Razor over there, he is 22 years old, and whatchamacallit, Mr. Akam, or Akam, or whatever you want to call him, he's 23.
Like Jay Sherman used to do.
These guys are younger than me, damn.
22 and 23. And they are 6 foot something, 300 pounds.
Literally,
Akam's gimmick
down,
name.
and it hurts inside.
Akam's gimmick name is almost as awful as Yankum. Or no, that's
Their
that's
whole
about
name,
as bad as it gets.
their whole naming scheme is very, very gimmicky.
Yes.
It's very stupid. You guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah, stupid.
So let's get on to the main show here. Team Raw won the Women's Survivor Series match, leaving survivors Bayley and Charlotte, and then Charlotte turning on Bayley after the match. Just absolutely destroying her. I can't wait for the WrestleMania match.
Yeah, that's going to be good. It's
of
probably going to be Royal Rumble, though.
Most of this match was pretty snooze fest, and then Bayley botched the 2-count breakup, and yeah.
At least the undercard matches. I'm just not really into Survivor Series matches anymore. Because it always feels like the match itself isn't trying to tell a story. There's other stories that the match helps move along.
Now, in this particular match, I would agree with you.
Nikki getting hurt, and Charlotte turning on Bayley, and because the pacing of them just always seems to be off. It's like somebody gets eliminated, and then a minute later, somebody else gets eliminated, even the teams, and then it just goes on like that until
Well, at least with the later ones, they went a lot better. But this first Survivor Series match was just, you can see why it opened the show. It was the worst of the three.
pretty much. I mean, nothing really memorable happened except for maybe Nia Jax tapping immediately to the disarmer.
And then
Right.
no selling it and beating both of the girls on the SmackDown team up.
Well, I can't
Yeah, her
remember.
Gucci was showing through.
Someone pointed this out to me, is we all should have known the results of this match coming in, at least a large portion of it, considering the pay-per-view streak with Charlotte and how they don't want to break that up.
Well, I believe I did know, and I told you all
Okay.
last week that
Aha.
Raw would take the 2 undercard matches, and then SmackDown would take the last one. But I digress.
Whatchamacallit? Moving on here. The Miz defeated Sami Zayn to retain the IC title.
This was
Or-
a good
This was
match.
a fun match.
This was a good match.
Probably the
Alright.
best, arguably one of the best match of Survivor Series.
I think it was
but,
the best match of the night.
yeah,
It
not
was
the
a
best
Raw
match of the weekend, but still,
It was a Raw match, though. I mean, really, it was
yeah,
a Raw
but
match.
still, it went on better than any other match during Survivor Series.
I like the finish, actually.
That's really what made it for me, was the finish was just so perfect.
It was so ridiculous, and you're like, "What the hell is going on?" And then you realize it's Maurice again playing her games to keep Miz with the belt.
Right, and we've seen this match before. That's what I'm saying. It's. I felt that it was. We already went on this territory for the past 6 months or wherever it was for that last IC title reigning he had. And to me, it was a repeat. So,
I mean, you're expecting them to move his storyline along. That's just probably not going to happen for a long time. It's going to be the same old shit for a while.
We're not moving any storylines along. We're literally going back to fucking Miz versus Ziggler at the next pay-per-view.
yep.
Oh yeah.
In 2 weeks, by the way.
I think given that it was an interpromotional slapdash match, we didn't really expect much from it, but both guys put on a pretty solid performance. So
Right.
and
Exactly.
the finish is one that you would normally be kind of annoyed about, but it really worked in this context.
Miz, I don't know. It's just like every time him and Maurice cheat, you like him more. He's the perfect bad guy.
Yep. I
Because
was
the
right.
second I figured out what happened, I just started laughing because it's like, that's amazing. That's awesome. It's exactly what he should do.
All right.
The best part of that was after she does it, she very obviously it's her, but she throws the fucking hammer down for ringing the bell, and she goes, no, it was him. Like, it wasn't fucking blatant. Who the fuck did it? I just giggled endlessly.
By the way, I'd like to give a little shout out to Victor Von Doom and GMFT and WFC Masters, who's also listening to the show right now. What's up, guys? Also, wrestling is real. Don't get tricked.
I can't really do that with my headphones on without tossing them across the room.
Team Raw won the Tag Team Survivor Series match, leading the survivors Sheamus and Cesaro. Hey, Gable looked fucking amazing in this match.
And then he got eliminated.
Yeah.
Isn't that the worst part about it all? I mean, he does this amazing shit, and then it's like, whoops, there you go, brother. You're out of here.
Well, even in the women's match, where you'd think they were building toward Natalya versus Nikki, and Natalya just gets eliminated in the middle of the match. You think she would be toward the end. What?
Robot baby?
Robots?
Okay, am I not? Am I still roboting?
Yeah, now
You're fine.
You're fine
now.
there.
Okay. Is he going to be like Kofi, where they drag him out to do spots? Gable, I mean.
Maybe.
No, they're just holding off the big match, the Usos versus American Alpha, the blow off for WrestleMania, and they got nothing in between. Man, it's just so obvious.
Like when I said that, the SmackDown Tag Division is way worse than Raw's, and then they do a turmoil match on last night's SmackDown, where the Vaudevillains got eliminated in 10 seconds, and some other teams got eliminated in 2 minutes, and it's really the story here was with the Raw teams. Obviously, they were going for that shock factor that the New Day got eliminated as quick as they did, which I'll commend them for that. But then they want to push this Sheamus Cesaro thing so much, and it's not that it's not working, but I just look at all the teams in this tag team thing, and I'm thinking, the two guys who are as good on their own as they are in a team, particularly Cesaro, and they want to force them to be a team, and at the cost of all these other, actual teams.
Yeah, but they are a great team together with their whole, somebody said Goku, Vegeta, like, power struggle type thing going on. Like, keep trying to one-up each other.
Well,
that's actually a really good...
Bad.
That's a really good assessment of it, to be perfectly honest. I like the Goku Vegeta thing going on there, because definitely, Cesaro is the Goku here, and Sheamus is the Vegeta. And by the way, everybody...
Nerds!
Everyone is going to miss Sheamus when
Sorry,
he's
I
gone.
just had to get that out of my system.
I understand. Everyone's going to miss Sheamus when he's gone, and when it's Sheamus versus Ishii for New Japan next year in the Tokyo Dome for is it Wrestle Kingdom 12 is next year? Not this year, but not this one coming up, but the next one. We're all going to be like, "Oh man, he was so underutilized," blah blah blah, etc. Moving right along.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Because Sheamus is great and he's very underappreciated.
He's not going anywhere.
Once he goes to Japan, because he's.
I missed the joke. Let's
put it this way: the Japanese people are going to love him because once Ishii chops him, he's just going to look like their flag.
All right, next match.
Kalisto to retain the cruiserweight title by DQ. Hey, thanks there, Baron Corbin, for fucking everything up.
Yeah.
Somebody in the Discord called this right as it was starting, and everybody was like, "No, that's not going to happen." Guess what? It's exactly what happened.
I love how he cost them their entire division. And, like, he basically gets no punishment and just put into a match at the next pay-per-view. It feels like
right. And Sami Zayn, the next night on Raw, Sami Zayn, for not bringing the fucking IC title in,
gets his ass whooped.
Fucking wrecked by Braun Strowman. To where Mick Foley has to come out and stop the fucking match. Why? Why does God hate us?
Nikki Bella is still wrestling, and Brie Bella is planning on coming back.
Oh God, why? Does that mean Daniel is going to be at home watching the baby?
Yes.
By the way, it is really sad about Kalisto. He's just got fucking nothing to do on SmackDown. He really just needs to be put in the cruiserweight division at this point.
Where's Neville?
Where's Neville too? Yeah. Two other guys just need to be in the cruiserweight division at this point. Like, if you're not going to do fuck all with them, I'm almost tempted to say, you know what? Just throw Uha in there at this point, too.
And they're missing out on what I think would be a fun thing for, like, here's your punishment for, Baron Corbin. He gets traded.
I think that there's going to be some sort of trade special that is going to happen, sometime in the near future where people get traded to other shows. We keep waiting for that and we keep calling it, but it's like they just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
I'm thinking either after the Rumble or sometime after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You're closer to the 9 months out from when they initially had the draft.
It
6 to
depends
9 months from
upon
it.
if they want to do cross-brand shit for Mania. It might just be easier to do trades right then and there.
Well, you just might want to remember also that next year there are going to be less pay-per-views than there were this year.
Thank Christ.
Yes. So they're scheduling less and less in the way of pay-per-views. So expect that to be pretty much a thing. So
12. I still say 12. You have 4 cross-brand and 8 regular pay-per-views. You got 1 pay-per-view a month where you're fucking alternating between Raw and SmackDown each month. It'll be fine.
all right, moving on. Team SmackDown won the Men's Survivor Series match, leaving survivors Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Holy shit, this fucking 52 minutes and 55 seconds of my life.
Longest Survivor Series match of all time. It beat the one in 2001 where the WWF faced the Alliance. That classic angle. But that was legit what this match reminded me of, was that match. It was just a lot of cool storytelling.
Dude, I noticed how long it was, and I was skipping through it. I'm trying to scrub through this match because, be fucked if I'm actually going to watch this piece of shit. And, I'm like, is this fucker ever going to end?
No, really, I thought it was a great match. I thought this was the match of the night, to be perfectly honest.
I still say the Miz Sami Zayn was match of the night, but I don't begrudge anyone for saying that this was match of the night. It was a really, really good Survivor Series match. It was It was probably one of the best Survivor Series matches in a long
don't get me wrong, the Ziggler match, where Ziggler went the fuck over instead of Roman Reigns, was the best ending to a Survivor Series match. But overall, for the match continuity, for getting everybody's stories over, for eliminating the people in the right order, and for getting and having the right team win at the end, it was perfect.
And again, the complaint I had about the other 2 matches is it seems like the match itself is inconsequential, and eliminations come rapid fire. Whereas with this match, being 52 minutes, you had time to actually eliminate somebody, and then a team had to struggle, and then you have the Shield spot and the coast to coast and all that good stuff.
I think what we're going to lose in subsequent rewatches of this particular pay-per-view is the time of which this match ended, and then the going straight into Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. I think that starting at it started at 10:30, by the way, the Brock Lesnar Goldberg match. After entrances, after introductions, 10:30, ring the bell. I thought that was, and to have the shock of that end as fast as it did, which we'll talk about that in a second, it coming after this match made this match all the more sweeter because it was exactly opposite of what the next match would be.
That's true. I mean, everybody thought, that, I remember it being 10 o'clock and thinking, people in the chat were saying, what is Lesnar Goldberg going to go on for an hour? But then this match went on longer, and then with the main,
yeah,
I don't think anybody wasn't shocked by it.
Yeah, after the package and the entrances, there was 40 minutes or less left in the pay-per-view if they were to go to the full hour. And we're just thinking, oh god, this is going to be a 30 minute match. There's probably going to be something happening afterwards. And then it starts, it only lasts a couple minutes, and then they cut. And everyone was just like, wait, what?
Really was brilliant, though, because if the match goes a bit too long, especially after a match as long as 52 minutes, it's got a chance to the crowd will just fuck off and then start shit chanting. And they didn't even give him the opportunity to do that. They just like, all right, we'll just throw it the other way.
At first, let's just get right into it then. Goldberg defeated Brock Lesnar here. I thought that this match was perfect for what it was. It was the absolutely what you needed to do for Goldberg to have him come back and be Goldberg again. You know, he wants to be that superhero. Fine, let him be the superhero because, you know, Brock could take a loss or two. This doesn't hurt him at all either. That's my point. You know, a Goldberg loss doesn't hurt anybody at all, ever, unless your name is Hulk Hogan and you think that the rest of the world is a fucking tragedy. You know, one loss is a tragedy.
When I was scrubbing through, because I didn't get to watch it live, but when I was scrubbing through, I thought I missed this match. I thought I had scrubbed past it on accident, and then the package started, and I was like, wait, what? There's only like 5-10 minutes left. Why is this? And then the match happened the way it did. It was 2 spears and a jackhammer, and it's over, with Paul Heyman in the corner begging for Brock Lesnar to be left alone. And I was just fucking flabbergasted at the way that match went. Nobody would have seen that coming. Now I just have to wonder, like, do they have Goldberg like run through other people for a little while before the next whatever match?
It's going to be Goldberg doing nothing. It's going to be Goldberg doing a whole lot of nothing between now and then, and people talking about it, and people, you know, getting hype about it, and, you know, Goldberg being in the Royal Rumble and Brock Lesnar being in the Royal Rumble, and they get to, you know, meet up face to face one more time. And then out of nowhere, Braun Strowman, here we go.
Would you stop pushing for that?
Dude, it's going to happen.
You know what else is going to happen? Okay, I'm calling it now. Royal Rumble spot. Braun Strowman is eliminated or coming into the match, right? All of a sudden, somebody throws out James Ellsworth, military press style. Braun catches him and throws him back into the ring.
That would actually be amazing.
Carries him, like not even just throws him back to the ring, but just like carries him into the ring with him. Because he can.
Only to then toss him over the top rope himself.
Exactly. And then he looks like he's like a dead fish, and then it's all over. That's all. That's pretty much all that Ellsworth is good for at this point. But no, that was a great match. Anybody else got any thoughts on that?
Wouldn't really call it a match, but it got a reaction, man. Can't deny that.
Oh, hell yeah, it did.
The only question for me now is, what is the plans for Mania? Because Goldberg and Lesnar, you can do it again, but why not give 2 guys the rub at least?
Well, because Vince only has so much money to pay out of one hand.
Yeah,
the other hand is used for, well, you know.
We know.
Beating off to Braun Strowman.
Probably beating off Goldberg. Oh, that's what he says when he climaxes. That's why the song starts with that. I get it now.
And that's actually Vince saying that?
Yeah. Jake was so pissed off right now. I could feel it.
Can we do the Dairy Queen drive-thru?
Okay. One thing about Braun over there. You know what really sold me on him? The goddamn scarf.
The scarf thing, yeah.
That was so money. Like, I wanted to see Braun. So in true Jericho fashion, I want to see Braun and Jericho partner up again and do something just as equally silly.
But, like, have Braun take the scarf and, like, wear it in his back pocket to, like, wipe the sweat off or, like, use it as a freaking snot rag later.
or do the whole rub it through the crotch thing. Yeah. All right, I want ice cream. Anybody else?
It's been a while, so I could go for some ice cream.
A little pie a la mode. Let's go through the Dairy Queen drive-thru. Vassar with the ratings.
And now for the ratings. Starting off as usual is TNA Impact with 336,000 viewers, up 5% from the 319,000 the week previous. On to Raw, which got 3.002 million, up 4% from the 2.876 million the week previous. And finally on to SmackDown, which got 2.505 million, down from the 2.725 million the week previous. SmackDown and Raw are pulling apart again.
Save us, dog. You got the birthdays, my friend.
All right. Happy birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday on Thanksgiving to the one and only Beth Phoenix. And then happy birthday on the 25th to the one and only Josh Matthews. Thank God there's only one. Happy birthdays on the 26th to Ivory, Brian Lee, Maven, and Johnny Riggs. It's a great Survivor Series team right there. The old 4-on-4 style. Happy birthday on the 27th to 911, Evan Courageous, and Davey Boy Smith. Happy birthdays on the 28th to Brent Albright, to Rob Conway, and to Joel Maximo. And then happy birthdays on the 29th of this month to JBL, Jerry Lawler, Mean Gene Okerlund, Hayabusa, Super Hentai, Courtney Rush, and Minoru Tanaka. And then happy birthdays on the 30th to Christian, Jimmy Del Rey, Naomi Namoy, or Naomi. Someone either horribly misspelled or that's someone I've never heard of. And Tom Zank. Happy birthdays to all those people.
Speaking of Beth Phoenix, that's somebody that would be a threat to Asuka.
If she wasn't currently knocked up as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think she's pregnant.
Number 2
fucking stupid Edge and his goddamn fertile seed.
Well, I mean, the whole reason Trish wasn't there is because she's pregnant too. So
with number 2 as well. Yep. And now it is time for This Week in Wrestling with Omega BR.
Yes, this weekend, wrestling history, circa 1922, where Billy Meeks defeats Joe Bailey in a tournament final to win the vacant Australian heavyweight title in Melbourne, Australia. The title had been vacant since 1915, when champion Clarence Weber retired. Jump to 1950, where Baron Michel Leon defeats Enrique Torres in Los Angeles, California to become recognized world heavyweight champion in Los Angeles and the Pacific Northwest, ending Torres' second and first reigns, respectively. And in 2002, Jeff Jarrett defeats Ron Killings for the NWA World Heavyweight title in Nashville, Tennessee during an NWA TNA pay-per-view. This was the first NWA World title win for Jarrett in TNA, and he would go on to hold the title a total of 6 times. And that was this weekend, wrestling history.
Happy trails. Happy trails this week to Jake Roberts, who has apparently lost his WWE Hall of Fame ring, offering a reward to anyone who can help locate it. And happy trails to Ric Flair, who told ESPN about getting off a plane in Richmond, Virginia in the 70s, only to have lightning hit the top of his umbrella and hit the man behind him in the eye, killing him. He theorized the steel tips of the umbrella removed partly as a result of the incident. That and the Ric Flair robe story from what they were showing after Survivor Series is fucking phenomenal.
Dude, everyone remembers those crazy ass promos that he cuts about surviving a plane crash and getting struck by lightning. It's because he literally has survived a plane crash and been struck by lightning. There will never be another Ric Flair.
Yeah, he is one of the luckiest men that has ever existed at this point.
Except when it comes to women.
No, I mean even when it comes to women. I mean, Jesus Christ, did you see what happened? You didn't see,
Dude, he has like
special.
5 ex-wives, and his most recent one is.
Yeah, but that's a him issue. That's not a women issue.
Did you see the WWE story time after Survivor Series?
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
It was a different time.
It was an amazing time. What are you talking about?
Great time.
All right, what should we watch this week in wrestling? Let's start with Dog.
well, first of all, Yankum, you should go back and watch that Survivor Series match, the men's one. It was great. I don't know why you skipped through it. It was really good. Shame. This week, okay, you should probably watch from Lucha Underground, Killshot, a.k.a. Shane Strickland, versus Dante, a.k.a. AR. Candy had to go, man. Fox, in a really good match.
Wait, breaking news. Steve Corino reportedly signs with the WWE to be a trainer at the Performance Center. Go figure, right?
Cool.
Vassar, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
I'm gonna go with James Ellsworth and AJ Styles SmackDown match this week, where it was Ellsworth's career versus a title shot against AJ.
Omega BR, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
The 2004 Royal Rumble match, because they may very well be repeating it with this year's Rumble.
Yankum, what should we watch this week in wrestling?
I don't know. I do know. Since I was talking about it earlier, I don't have the internet. Well, I mean, I have the internet, but not to where I can Google in front of me. Surely someone will know the final match between Trish Stratus and Mickie James, because that's my favorite Mickie James. The crazy Mickie James. Also, I have hands full of sweet potato right now, so.
Hands full of what?
Sweet potato. I'm peeling boiled sweet potato to make mash, which will be used to make candied yams.
Ooh, I'm jealous. Let's see here. You should watch. Actually, Talking Smack this week. I'm going to suggest. That was really funny. There's a good James Ellsworth interview on there. There's a good, I think, Gable. I keep wanting to say Jordan and Gable, but I don't think that's right.
Yeah, it is. And the Bant of God as well.
Also, I swear to God, it sounded like you said Jews Ellsworth, which, no.
No. We're not the alt-right here. There's nothing alt about us at all. So there you go. All right. That's it. I think all of us want to want it to be 24 hours from now. We have, our relative Thanksgiving dinners in our stomachs and are quite happy watching football. How's your fantasy league, West? Just wondering.
Oh my God, I am like fourth from last. I haven't checked since the weekend ended.
I think I might be good if Cam Newton manages to score 11 billion points.
It just makes me mad that there's people on West's fantasy league that never really play and are just have a horde of good players on their team that never get used.
Oh yeah. No, that tends to happen with West. That's not terribly surprising.
I think still holding out hope that the Browns will go my predicted 3-13.
Yeah.
3-13. Oh
Maybe.
man.
They've still got time, Surely, when the Steelers make the playoffs, they'll
They
secondary
were
that last
eliminated
week.
from playoff contention yesterday. Or last week, I mean. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We really appreciate all listening. SmarkSnark.com, Twitter, Facebook, Patreon. Check us out. SRS Podcast if you want to call into the show. That's on Skype.
Thanks,
Thank you all for
podcastthieves.com.
listening. Thanks, podcastthieves.com. I wasn't here for the beginning of that, so thanks, podcastthieves.com. You should thank them at the beginning, you imbecile.
I did
So-
thank them. We thank them at the beginning and the end because we don't want them to sue us and be like, you should have said it both times. And we're like, oh, well, so we say it both times, and then we pray to God that we don't get sued because we don't have any money.
Gobble gobble, motherfuckers, and in the words of the immortal gobbledygook here,
Good night, Medford.
Okay, so I'm ninth place overall, 4th place in Division 1.